live. What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of MMA Talk here at the Lyons Den.
Hello, everyone.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Just a while, just a little bit.
Yeah, last episode was sometime last year, isn't it?
But we're back.
We are back. We got a nice card. We've got a nice card coming up this weekend. UFC 273. 273. Yeah, 273. I forgot what the UFC it was there. Yeah, some nice fights on the card. We're going to be covering the featured bouts. The featured bout in Khamzat Chimaev versus Gilbert Burns, and the co-main event and the main event. So, yeah, let's kick things off, man. We'll start off with the Gilbert Burns.
And let's start off with the real main event.
The people's main event.
Yeah, the people's main event.
Come on. This is obviously the one everyone wants to see in it. But I think there's a lot at stake. This is where we get to find out whether Khamzat is the real deal, whether he's all, do you know what I mean? Whether he's all hype or whether he's actually like legit the next big thing. Do you know what I mean? I'll let you start, man. What are your thoughts on there? First of all, let's get on the tail of the tape. See what we're dealing with.
Yeah, I didn't realise the age difference.
Feel free to start, Aston.
Yeah, I didn't realise the age difference between Khamzat and Gilbert, for one, because obviously Khamzat is only 27. Like he's not even like, he's still like a baby in terms of like MMA. He's still like fairly young, but he has all this hype behind him, whereas Gilbert Burns is a little bit more experienced. He's had the shot at the belt. He's had experience in two weight classes. Not that that makes a difference, but he's seen different styles throughout different weight classes. I think the height is going to obviously play a big part. The reach is a big difference, but not too big for it to play a part. I'd say mainly the height, because Gilbert Burns is only 5'8", and Khamzat is 6'2". Like, Khamzat is just going to come in and smash everybody. I'll kill everybody. I'm going to smash
everybody. Yeah, I think the size difference is very apparent, isn't it? Did you see in the embedded video where they like sort of met?
Each other?
Yeah. And I didn't actually realize how small Gilbert Burns was.
Yeah.
I did not realize, like, compared to like Khamzat, it's like they're in two different weight classes.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And it basically is two different weight classes when you think about it, because Khamzat can fight at middleweight. Like, do you know what I mean?
He says he could fight a light heavyweight as well.
This is what I mean. I don't want to know what he's going to weigh on the night, like, of the actual fight. Like, when the fight's about to start, the weight difference is going to be ridiculous.
It's going to be mad. But yeah. So I've got the tail of the tape here. At least I thought I did. Wait, where is it? Yeah, okay, tail of the tape here. So, Gilbert Burns, 24-0. Khamzat, obviously, undefeated in his run so far in MMA. 5'10" for Gilbert Burns. We mentioned that, the size difference. Khamzat, 6'2", much bigger man. The reach difference, surprisingly, isn't as big as I thought it was, but Khamzat has a 75-inch reach. Burns coming in at 71. Both orthodox. And yes, Khamzat is the younger fighter. So, predictions? How do you think this is going to go?
Predictions. I have to go with the hype. Like, as much as, like, don't get me wrong, I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on Gilbert and think that Khamzat is just going to go in and absolutely obliterate him. I don't think that's going to happen, in my opinion. I think Gilbert will at least get out of the first round. I don't think he'll get finished in the first round. And I think if it's going to be a finish, because I could see it being back and forth, as much as everyone thinks that Khamzat is just the ultimate chosen one who's going to come in and just smack. I think he will come in and you'll probably see the best of him that you have seen, because he'll have to rise to the occasion. And I think if he's going to win by stoppage, it's going to be second round. But I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to decision, if I'm honest. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Gilbert Burns. I think a lot of people are forgetting that he's got power. A lot of people forget that he dropped Kamaru Usman in that fight. Like a lot of people are forgetting about Gilbert Burns. So
Mm.
I think Hamzat will win, but I think it will be by decision. I don't think it will be by finish. But if he does finish him, round 2. But I'll go with 3 rounds.
3 rounds, Hamzat by decision. Okay, interesting prediction. I'm thinking, I don't think it will go the distance.
Okay.
I'm on the hype train. I'm fully on the on the Hamzat hype train, man. I think it's going to be. I know a lot of people are sleeping on Gilbert Burns, but I think Hamzat has just shown that the things he's been able to do to the fighters he's fought so far. I don't think like people like Gilbert Burns will be able to do the same to them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just made it look so easy. And his he's been hit what, like twice, is it? And they were
I think he's absorbed one
they weren't even
significant
like
strike.
proper punches.
Yeah.
So I think Burns has shown that he's not got the best of chins.
Yeah, no, I guess so, yeah.
I know he can crack, he can definitely hit hard, and he dropped Kamaru Usman. However, you got to think here. I think Khamzat will be able to. He's got the reach advantage first and foremost. He'll be able to sort of use his footwork as well. He's got great footwork. We've seen that in the middleweight fight that he had, and he managed to back that guy up against the cage and one punch KO.
Yeah.
I think Khamzat will be able to use his footwork to set up something, and I don't think Gilbert Burns is going to be able to take the shots. I really don't.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a first round finish for me.
Really?
Either by KO. If it goes to the ground, you have to give Burns that respect, don't you? You can't just be like, oh, Khamzat's going to destroy him. If it goes to the ground, I can see it's possible. I think Gilbert Burns could catch him with something in his submission.
Yeah.
But I feel like Khamzat's going to keep the fight standing up, and he's just going to show like his striking ability.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that video where he was drilling with Darren Till. I think they were drilling like some uppercuts and stuff and trying to replicate Burns' overhand, right?
Okay.
So yeah, I think it's going to be a first round KO or TKO.
Okay.
That's my official prediction.
It's going to be an interesting fight. I think it's going to be an interesting fight. I think we'll have the answer in it. We'll know whether he is hype or reality. And we'll find that out tomorrow. Obviously, Dana's already come out and said what he wants to happen if Hamzat wins, which is, again, that's another fight for another day to go into. But it's all about whether he wins or not. And I still think he'll win, but it's just about how he wins, I think will be, the biggest tell sign.
If he goes in there and smokes him inside one round, man, flipping heck.
It sends a message. Definitely sends a message.
For real.
Everyone will hear loud and clear.
Well, I'm looking forward to this one, man. For me, it's my fight of the night, and the most anticipated fight of the cards. But yeah, so moving on to the next one. Oh my God, this fight. Aljamain Sterling versus Peter Yan to the rematch from, that very controversial first fight. Thoughts?
I'll let you start. I know we're gonna have different opinions for this one, but I'll let you start on this one.
First of all, I want to say I think Aljamain Sterling, from watching the press conference, I don't think he really believes that he's going to beat Peter Yan. I feel like he's almost trying to hype him. He was trying to make himself believe that he's going to beat Peter Yan. Like the things he was saying in the conference, like, "Oh, I'm going to finish this guy," and blah blah blah. Did he watch the first fight? Like he thinks.
He got absolutely different.
Yeah, I think if he had come out and been like, "Okay, I was, having a hard time in the first fight. I've gone back to the drawing board, reassessed, and I've got a game plan. I know what I'm coming to do. I'm going to take this guy out." But he seems to think that he was doing well in the first fight and all was going his way, and he got robbed by an illegal knee. Let's all be real. Peter Yan was absolutely dominating that first fight.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? I think where with Peter Yan, he usually takes a few rounds, doesn't he, to like sort of read his opponent and then get a gauge of their,
Yeah.
their tactics and blah 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 to set up his counter shots.
Yeah. I think he plays the long game.
Yeah, yeah. And once he's got a read of you, he just starts teeing off and countering, and he's crazy. I think that he's been in there now. He's felt what Aljamain Sterling has to offer. I mean, in the first fight, Aljo couldn't really take him down. He got one takedown, and he wasn't able to keep him down. He couldn't get any takedowns other than that one after many attempts. I think Peter Yan's felt everything he's had to offer. And I think he's going to come out in this one with a point to prove. And it's going to be an absolute demolition from Peter Yan. I think inside, I want to say inside first round, but I'll give Peter Yan time because I know he likes to read his opponents. In case Aljo comes in with a different game plan, Peter Yan's going to have to read and adapt. But I think inside, no more than 3 rounds, and I think it will be a KO or TKO finish for Peter Yan.
So, my thought process: my head tells me one thing, but my heart tells me another. The Funkmaster is gonna win.
Oh, please!
Round 2 submission. Funkmaster. He's gonna.
Really can choke.
I'm telling you. I don't know how. I don't know when. Well, I think if he's gonna finish it and he's gonna win, it will be in the first 2 rounds. I don't think he'll submit him in the first round. I think his only avenue to win is submission. I don't think he has any chance on the feet to knock him out or TKO or anything like that. I think the way he will win all depends on a scramble. I think if there's some form of takedown or some sort of, I don't know, slip or something like that, I think Aljo will jump on that immediately. And I feel like he's drilled and knows that that's his only route to win. Don't get me wrong. My head tells me Peter Yan is going to smoke him. 100% my head tells me that. I'm not listening to my head. I'm listening to my heart. And what I want to happen and what I'm hoping happens is for Aljo to just come in, shut everyone up. Because if I would, let's be real. If you're a fighter, and you're fighting in the biggest fight of your career and someone's hit you with an illegal move, you telling me you're going to get up and continue to fight when you're not 100%? Absolutely not. I don't care who you are. You're not doing that.
I agree. I agree with Aljo's decision. I would have probably done the same and taken the belt.
100%.
You know what I mean? But hey, fight was going the way it was going.
I know. I feel like everyone on the internet, all the people are just gunning for him. They just don't like what he did, which I think is so stupid. So that's why I want him to go in, win, and be like, okay, now
Silence all the haters.
What have you got to say now? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's my thought process.
Okay. So you want Aljo to win?
100%.
Official prediction though.
My prediction, I'm going to go with Aljo, round 2 submission. I know my head tells me that that's not going to happen, but that is my prediction. That's my official prediction.
Official prediction, yeah. Okay. 100%. I think it would be cool for Aljo to win. I mean, I like to see surprise stories like that, or when the underdog rises to the occasion. So I think it would be cool for Aljo to win and just silence all the haters and everyone just be like, oh my God, I can't believe this has happened. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Madness. It'd be madness.
It would be.
Cool. That's a cool prediction.
I know,
I know round 3. I was not expecting that from you, Aston.
Yeah, I knew that's why I said at the start. I know we're gonna have different predictions.
Oh, cool. So what we say? Main event time. Volkanovski, for me, arguably pound for pound number 1. I think he's up there with he's in. I don't know that pound for pound list. I don't know who makes the pound for pound list, but
it's a bit all over the place, isn't it?
Yeah, I sometimes don't really agree with it. I think Volkanovski is definitely in the talks for pound number 1. I think it's between him, Kamaru Usman. I do think John Jones should still be at the top because he's not lost in forever. He's not lost, and his competition has been mad. But so yeah, Volkanovski arguably pound for pound number 1, defending his title up against the Korean Zombie, veteran of the game.
Yes.
I'll let you start.
Well, with this fight, so let's look at the tail of the tape. So I've got the tail of the tape up. So they're around similar age. So Volkanovski is 33, and Korean Zombie is 35. Around the same height, 5'5" and 5'6". And then the reach, I've got half an inch difference on what I've got online. So they're quite evenly matched. In terms of the skill set and the record, obviously Volkanovski hasn't, I don't think he's lost since he's been in the UFC.
Mm.
I think his
No, he's not lost, and his only loss was at welterweight, I believe.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's nuts. So I know that he hasn't lost since being in the UFC. I think prediction wise, I feel like this is an easy one, but I don't necessarily feel like it's an easy fight, if that makes sense. Like I feel like the easy answer is Volkanovski is going to win. Like whether it's by standing on the feet, whether it's by going to the ground, whether it's by decision, whether it's by TKO, I feel like it doesn't matter. Like I feel like he's well rounded enough to be able to do
So
that.
well rounded, isn't he?
Exactly, and that's the problem that he has. Like, if you look at the Brian Ortega fight with Volkanovski, that choke that Ortega had on him was deep, and he still found a way to survive and to like carry on through the fight. And you've seen the Max Holloway fights, although very controversial. I feel like Max Holloway won both of the fights that they've had, but Volkanovski has managed to win them by whatever means necessary, whether it's the judges or what. He's got the W on his record, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. So I think he's gone through the hardest person that he can fight in the division, and thus far at the moment. So I think Max Holloway is the hardest fighter he could have fought in that division, in my opinion. And I feel like that's the most difficult matchup for him in that division right now. So I think Volkanovski can win like in any route. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it goes 5 rounds. I wouldn't be surprised if he finishes him. Like I just wouldn't be surprised. And that's not to discredit the Korean Zombie. Like the Korean Zombie is a good fighter, again, well-rounded fighter. But I just feel like you'll see the difference in class, like in the fight, if that makes sense.
I think I agree with you. I think everyone's expecting Volkanovski to win this one, and I think he's sort of created a pedigree for himself where he's so highly respected. As I said, I think he's in the conversation for pound #1 fighter at the moment. He's just been so dominant in all of his wins. Goes back, obviously the Max Holloway fights were very close. A bit of back and forth with Brian Ortega, but I do believe that he sort of, you know what I mean, put a beating on Ortega in that fight.
Yeah.
But it just looks like how he's just a wizard in there. It's like almost like I haven't seen yet a blueprint on how to beat Volkanovski. He's just so good at everything.
Yeah.
And it's like the way he adapts in the fight is just unreal. He can fight anywhere, as you say, whether it's on the ground, standing up. It's going to be hard for Korean Zombie. And I think his best chance is to obviously catch him with something, a nice counter, because Korean Zombie does have power. We have to give him that respect. He's got heavy hands. He's shown that in a lot of his fights, that he can shut the lights out at any moment. But Volkanovski's got a chin, man. He's got a solid chin, and it's like he's very intelligent in there with his movement. I just don't know what it's going to take for Zombie to get that win and to catch him or something.
I think his best avenue to go down the Korean Zombie if he wants to win the fight is to follow a similar sort of game plan to Max Holloway in terms of trying to overwhelm him.
Yeah.
Just keep on him, keep on him. Like when he tries to reset, don't allow him to reset. If he tries to push you to the center of the octagon, try to control the center of the octagon. Try to push him back against the fence. Try and trap him in the corner of the cage. They've just got to be. The team that he has. They just have to be very tactical and very clever and make adjustments on the fly if needs be, because I feel like his only route, if he is to win, is to keep that pressure on. So when the opportunity presents itself and either a mistake happens or a feint or he sees something like an opening, it gives him the chance to react quickly. Because if he doesn't have that distance closed, I know there's pretty much same reach, but I feel like he needs to be in the pocket. If he's going to stand a chance at winning. I feel like playing the patient fight game is just going to suit Volkanovski more. So I feel like he just needs to stay on him if he wants to stand a chance at winning.
And see, that's where styles make matchups, isn't it? Because with Korean Zombie, he likes to sort of be more patient, sit back, wait, look for the counter shots. He's not really a high pressure fighter. And I think
Yeah,
that's going to play into Volkanovski's favor unless him and Henry. I know he's been training with Henry Cejudo, and obviously we know Henry has a sort of good win ratio with the fighters that he's been
yeah,
coaching recently. So unless they've formulated a really good game plan, which we haven't seen anyone use against Volkanovski before, then I'm gonna have to go with Volkanovski, man.
Mhm.
I think it will be. This is like the head and heart thing that you were saying. In my heart wants Korean Zombie to win. He seems
Yeah,
like such a nice guy and
yeah,
just a cool fighter, a veteran of the game. I'd love for him to sort of, see gold within his before he goes off and retires. But Volkanovski's just too good, man. I just don't see anyone beating him in that division.
yeah. He's just the man right now.
So yeah, for me, official prediction is going to be. I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with a decision.
Yeah, so that's what I'd go with as well.
Yeah, unanimous
I feel like it's
decision.
the most likely outcome.
Yeah, unanimous decision. I don't see him knocking out Volkanovski. Korean Zombie. And I don't see him submitting him. I think it would be a decision.
The one thing we didn't touch on, not with this fight, but with the Jan Sterling fight, what's going on with Peter Yan's corner? Who does he have in his corner? Because his team couldn't come to America, no?
Oh, I read something about that, and they were.
Or did they come here? Because I was seeing, obviously, I don't know if it was true, but I was seeing stuff about Sean O'Malley and like other people like being in his corner.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought it was like a joke.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So
I don't know what's going on there, but that could have an impact to play on that fight, depending on if he's got his actual team in the corner or not. But obviously, we don't have to delve into that too much because we'll see on the fight who's in his corner, and you'll know if it's his team or not.
No, it's a very good point you raised. Yeah, I guess we'll find out on the night how much that sort of impacts his performance. Yeah, no, it's a good night of fights. There's some good. Those last three fights are really, I'm looking forward to those massively. And it should be a wicked night of fights. There's a prospect on there as well. What's his name? Is it Ian Gary?
Yeah, the prelim, the last fight in the prelims.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of
hype behind him as well.
Yeah, it's a slow building hype, isn't it? It's not like it's not quite reached.
That or not.
Yeah, or the Paddy Pimblett.
Yeah. But you never know if he performs well, you might get a certain reaction, and if he gets a highlight reel, it goes quick. It goes viral quick these days. So you never know. It
does. But yeah. So those are the official predictions from us here at the Lyons Den podcast. Yeah, have you got anything more to add, Aston?
No, I think we've covered all the topics. I think we've covered the main fights. I know the only other fight that I'm interested in on the main card is the Tisha Torres fight. Mackenzie Dern.
Mackenzie Dern, that's the one.
Yeah, because I like watching Mackenzie Dern. I like her style of fighting. I think her hands have improved a lot, within her last few fights. Her ground game is obviously impeccable. So I'm interested to see how that styles make fights. You've got obviously the striker, pure muscle. You've got the ground game. So that's another fight I'm looking forward to. But other than that, I think we've covered all the main fights, all the goodies. So yeah, it's just bring on the show.
Bring on the show. Are you staying up for it?
Probably not. I'll probably record it, watch it early in the morning. But
I hear that. I'll probably stay out for it, to be fair. Yeah, have a little nap beforehand and then wake up for the main.
It's always better to watch it live. I just can't hack it these days. I'm too old. I feel too old.
I know the feeling, man. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on Sunday. We're going to try and get a review of the UFC 273 posted for you guys. But yeah, enjoy the fights. Hope you like our predictions. Share your predictions in the comments below. Let us know what you think. And yeah, roll on UFC 273. Let's go.